Lighting tutorial with tutexpert.com. Today I'm going to show you how to create this sketch effect. Now this is a really popular effect and you might have seen lots of tutorials that show different techniques, but I'm going to show you a technique that works on just about every picture, and what's nice about it, it gives you this nice texture so it looks like a real drawing. I mean, this really does look like I scanned an image of a really, well done drawing. And I didn't. I just used a regular image, this one right here. Now I'm going to show you really quickly the other method. So I'm going to duplicate the background layer. I'm going to go to Image, Adjustment, and Desaturate. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate the layer, and then the top layer we're going to change to Color Dodge, and then we're going to invert the information. So there we go, Control or Command I. Now we're going to go back to the layer that's underneath, and we're going to go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. Now this is what you get, and depending on your radius you can get some different, you can bring it down to get a little more crispness in the lines, but without a lot of adjustments and really some different filters and maybe finding edges or going in here and burning and using color dodge and burn, you're going to have a difficult time creating that effect that I showed you on the other page. So this right here, these texture marks, I can show you how to create those in a much simpler method, So first we're going to go back to our background layer. I duplicate it so that way I have this layer is always preserved. I started this years ago and make sure that I always have my original information. So every one of my Photoshop files, the original background layer is always locked and at the bottom. Now this will be our working layer. So we'll call it working layer. And I do want to take the color out of it, so I'll desaturate it. Now we have a black and white image. And let's see, what else do we need? Oh, we're going to need a new layer. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to use this as my background color. When we put this underneath here and I put a layer mask on this working layer, the layer mask will hide all the information that's here. So I'm just going to shut it off. If I hide it, I have a transparency right now, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go to my background color and I'm going to fill it, edit, fill with white. There we go. So now when I hide or use the mask to hide the information here, I see white, just like a real drawing. So we're going to put a mask, attach it to this layer, and the way to do that, you can do it two different ways down here. You can just click on this mask button, add layer mask, or you can go to layer mask, and then do I want to reveal all or hide all? Well, I want to hide all. If I use this button right here, it would just put a mask and then I'd have to fill it with black. So now what does all that mean? Well, really quickly I'll show you. We've got a brush here, and this brush is using the white color, and we're on our layer mask right here. So when I paint on my layer mask, not on the image, on the layer mask, I am saying everywhere there is white, I want to see what's underneath. So if I paint with black, right now I'm saying I don't want to see what's on this layer, I want to see whatever's underneath. So if I shut that layer off, you see it's just transparent. Or if I had this background layer on and we had a layer mask, obviously these are two of the same images. This is a good way, like watch this. I will, let's see what I'm doing here. We'll go back to this other method. I could make her black and white and everything else color, or conversely I could make her color and everything else black and white. So that's really some cool effects that you can do with layer masks. So we're going to shut that off, and we'll turn the background layer on. I'll click on here, make sure I have fill and black. Okay, so now you got some ideas, some really neat effects you can do with layer mask, but let me show you what we're going to do today. We're going to choose, I think it's the fifth one in, first row down. Yeah, there we go. We're going to choose this brush, and at about 300 we're going to make sure we're on the working layer. We're going to choose white, and I'm on the mask, not the actual layer, and I'm going to scrape part of the layer mask, or I'm going to paint this scraping brush onto the layer mask to reveal our person underneath. So, and I'm going in a kind of at a 90 or 45 degree motion here, because this is similar to, I don't know if they call it hatching. If you go to your dollar bills, any denomination, you can look at the president and you can see that the artwork is really well done, and they use this technique. So we'll zoom in, you can see you have some lines going one way and going the other, and we're already starting to get that really nice effect that makes it look like charcoal. Now here's something that I like to do. I like to bring the brush size down, and then I just kind of scrape around where the hair is, you know, because we want some good definition there. And then I go the opposite direction a little bit, and then the face, we want to outline the face. So we're going to want, because she has these highlights here, the background is a little darker, so we're going to want to make sure we get that so that we can actually see the information in the picture. And then I'll go both directions on the eye, same with the nose. And if you don't like it, let's say I did a little too dark, you know, all I've got to do, let's see here, I'll really darken that up right there to where it doesn't look like hatching anymore. I just go right here and I'll click and I'll take some out. See, I'll go back the other way, or I can remove it all together and start over. And sometimes I like to blend these two methods, because it will make it look very original, you know, like a real drawing. So, and I think you get the idea. And that's it. That's what this method is. Now, if you don't like what the results are, you can always go back and fill the layer mask with, you know, black again, or you can just use the brush and paint over it. So if there's a section you don't like, just go to that section, change to black, and fill in the layer mask. So now you get the idea. Alright, thanks for watching. This has been a video tutorial with tutexpert.com. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and check out another one. If you're on our site, go ahead and read some articles or drop me a line. Feel free to ask questions, and we'll see you on the next tutorial.